To keep up with all of the projects I've been pumping out this year, it's now more important than ever that I streamline my workflow as much as possible. So today, let's take a break from all of that and 3D print some upgrades for my studio to help make creating content just that bit easier. Starting off with this little monitor. This Field World monitor was a cheap marketplace find which is a little beaten up, but it's been a fantastic upgrade for my videography setup. Except for this part, the power cable. Needing to be tethered to a power outlet in order to use it often means I just end up going without it, as finding a spare nearby outlet isn't always easy. This screen does take the same Sony NP style batteries I use in my lights, but the batteries I have for the lights are complete overkill for this little screen and make it much heavier than it needs to be when I want to rig it up to my camera. I also only have two and they're usually both taken up by my lights. I could just buy more batteries, but as an avid collector of old broken electronics, I have a frankly insane number of 18650 cells floating around that I'd love to be able to put to use on this little monitor. So I'm going to make a battery adapter that lets me do just that. My original plan was to print a dummy battery that would fit into the mount, so I started off by measuring up the battery terminals on the adapter to see if I had anything that would fit. Sadly though, it appears as though these are a pretty uncommon size and I don't have anything here that's suitable. So my next thought was to see how this adapter is connected to the screen and, aha, a 2-pin JST connector. That makes it easy. So I measured up the old battery adapter and came up with this. It bolts in place of the old connector and allows me to mount a dual 18650 cell holder while still allowing access to the plug to connect it all up. I've also included a spot for a little power switch because this monitor seems to just go into standby mode when you turn it off, and I don't want it flattening the batteries when I'm not using it. This will give me a good chance to try out my new 3D printer, the Bambu Labs A1. Full disclosure, Bambu Labs did send me this printer to try out, but there's no contract or any obligation to even show them this video before it goes live, so I can say whatever I'd like about it. This print went smoothly and took a little over half an hour at 0.2 layer height and 20% infill. I'm using eSun's Black Galaxy PLA for this print because it was the closest thing to black I already had loaded in the AMS light. I do have a bunch of Bambu's filament to try out too, but I've mainly used eSun filament in the past simply because I can walk into a store and buy it locally, so it's great that these spools fit the AMS light because it means I have the flexibility to finish off the filament I already have here. This part just needs a couple of M3 inserts installed from underneath, and then we can just install it on the back of the display. The switch is just installed in line with the positive wire so I can disconnect it when it's not in use. And just like that, it's working perfectly. On to the next project, and it's another videography based one. I recently picked up this small rig cage which helps allow me to mount whatever I need to the camera. The extended grip is a nice bonus too, but hanging onto the camera with one hand while all of these accessories are attached is a challenge, so I want to make a top handle for the camera. I found a pretty good one on Bambu's own Maker World, which would have been perfect because it's already set up for my printer, so I could even just use my phone to click on it in the app and hit print. The only problem is that it doesn't have any mounting holes, it's just a handle. I'd really like to be able to mount the monitor onto my handle when I need to, so I designed my own and included a 1/4 inch threaded insert in this part of the handle to allow me to attach the screen. While it is a bit different, my design is undeniably inspired by TechAm's design, so shout out to them for doing a great job. The handle prints on its front like this and took about 2.5 hours at the 0.2 layer height strength preset. I printed this one in PETG because I don't want it to warp from the heat if I bring it somewhere with me in the car in summer. This is Bambu's high flow PETG, which according to the slicer defaults at least, results in a time saving of almost an hour on this print compared to regular PETG. The supports snap off cleanly and all I have to do is put in the insert and then mount it to the camera. The next one won't really help my workflow at all, but it has been bugging me for a long time, and that is my speakers. I've been meaning to make some stands for them, but I keep pushing the project aside because of this entirely self-created problem. Right along the back of my desk is a cable management tray. I built it this way because I wanted to be able to easily add and remove things and keep the cabling neat without having to get up under my desk with a packet of zip ties. The problem is, because my monitor is wall mounted, the speakers have to sit right at the back of the desk so they don't stick out too far. But that means they are sitting half over the cable tray. I've been getting away with it because the speakers are sitting flat and they are front heavy, but if I want to make stands, first I need to give them some support over the channel. Once again, I just printed these in eSun's Black Galaxy, partially because it's black, but also because I want to use through it, as I haven't actually been that impressed with the finish I get out of it. It's definitely a bit neater on the A1 than it was on my old Ender 5, but it just isn't the nice, shiny, speckled black that I was expecting when I bought the roll. I've left an archway under these supports so the cables can pass through nicely and they can just sit in the tray under the speakers. Now for some stands. I found these awesome speaker stands with a hex pattern on them by Ant DS4 over on Maker World. These are perfect because the pattern matches my custom PC case nicely. I'm going to try printing the main sections in Bambu's black PLA CF to minimise the layer lines as much as possible, but first I need to swap over to the hardened steel nozzle for this filament. It's as simple as flipping the latch, removing the old nozzle and reinstalling the new one. Because this project is on MakerWorld, I can run the entire print by just pressing print in the app. The PLA CF prints beautifully and it really does make the layer lines barely visible. I'm going to finish these stands off by printing the inserts in eSun's Silk Silver PLA, and just like that, I have some stylish new speaker stands to get my speakers facing up towards me properly. While we're at it, there's another quick problem I need to fix in this area that's purely cosmetic. When I bought these sound deadening tiles, I got just enough to do the pattern I wanted. What I didn't realise is that the gap behind this side of the monitor was going to be pretty obvious on camera. So I measured up the tiles and printed these fake tiles in just plain white PLA that I can stick to the wall and make it look complete. Now when I film in this direction, you can't tell that some of the tiles are only plastic. So only you guys that made it this far in the video are going to know the secret. Why don't you leave a comment saying you know the secret so we can confuse everyone that didn't watch the whole video? I recently upgraded to this Lexa memory card reader, and whilst it is nice and heavy and has a large rubber foot pad, it still slides across my desk when I plug an SD card in. I was previously just using it plugged into the front of my PC, so it wasn't too much of a hassle to just pick it up when I want to plug something in. But I need it so often now, I've plugged it into one of the rear I/O ports and moved it to the middle of my desk under my monitor for easy access. I designed this little mount that I can screw into the desk or even just stick down with a bit of double-sided tape. It's printed in Bambu's PLA CF and it only took about 30 minutes to print. I've even included some little tabs that clip over the top of the reader to stop it from lifting out too easily. Now I can push my SD card in confidently, knowing I'm not going to push the reader across the desk. Last but not least, let's give the AMS a proper try and print something multicoloured. I was going to design my own desk organiser, but this one by the Big Greek on MakerWorld looks like it's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to print it in Bambu's black PLA CF with red PLA basic for the highlights. The whole print only took about 7 hours, but thanks to the designer cleverly making one of the vertical highlights parts separate, the printer only has to change filament 4 times for this whole print, meaning there is much less wasted material and just a much faster print in general. Now I have a great place on my desk to neatly store a bunch of my most used things. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with the A1. Even though it's one of Bambu's lower end models, it still prints exceptionally well, and it's on average about 3 to 4 times faster than my old Ender 5 was, whilst also achieving a higher print quality. The AMS Lite is going to allow me to try some interesting techniques in my future projects, but honestly, I think the biggest benefit is actually just how much easier it makes changing filaments. Because it trims the filament at the end of every print, when you want to change a roll, all you need to do is roll the filament back and it comes straight out of the printer. No need to preheat or even power on the printer. For me, that means I'll probably take better care of my filament in the more humid months because it's just so easy to remove from the printer when I'm not using it. 3D printing has come such a long way since I first started with it back in 2016, and it's so much easier for beginners now than it ever has been before. If you've been on the fence for a while about 3D printing, there has never been a better time to jump in and get started. Thanks Bambu Labs for the printer, and thank you guys for watching. I should have an update on my sim setup in the coming weeks, so stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one.